I don't know if you guys understand this. I was listening to Cowherd earlier today, and he was talking about how he would rather have Draymond's career than Carmelo's career, Draymond's career than Russell Westbrook's career. And I think, look, he's won a bunch of titles. He's going to be on TV. It doesn't hurt that Draymond has a podcast with Collins Network. It's like, I got it. Like, I think there's an interesting argument to be made there, but this is one you might want to recuse yourself because, like, hey, he's got a podcast, right? Yeah. It's on the volume, right? Yeah. Who owns the volume? Cowherd does. Got it. Okay. But there is something, there's a talent that Marcus Smart has, there's a talent that Draymond has that I'm not sure you got, that we all truly understand, and we can, that there's a way in which you can evaluate it statistically. And it's the I hate him guy. I hate him. Here's what I mean. I believe this in basketball, that you have to have one, if you want to be really, really good, and you look back at any historically great team, they all have it. There's a guy who pretty much every game he's ever played in his life, somebody on the other team wants to fight. And it's oftentimes it could be a mild-mannered guy, but it's a guy who, for whatever reason, and like we can go through is he dirty, is he cheap, is it things he says or whatever, but for whatever reason, there's that just that they may not even cross the line of being dirty, but there's the man, they're really close. They're really, really close. You know? I mean, Kurt Rambis with the Lakers back in the day. Danny Ainge with the Celtics. Right? Like, oh, I hate Danny Ainge. I hate Kurt Rambis. I hate him. Michael Thompson was that guy with the Lakers. Right? Michael Thompson, like the nicest guy ever. Like, that dude was brutally physical. Brutal. Bill Laimbeer, obviously, with the Pistons. I think everybody wanted to fight Bill Laimbeer. Rightfully so. Like, he was dirty, but it worked. It worked. You have to have one of those guys. Go and look. Give me a team. Give me a historically significant team. They all have them. They all have a guy who, sometimes the backup point guard. Delly, when he was with Cleveland, even though he had to start because Kyrie Irving got hurt the first time they played him, but Matthew Dellavedova was that guy for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And Draymond's that guy clearly for the Warriors. And Marcus Smart not playing tonight, that's curtains. He's part of the fabric of what make them good. One, he's actually a very, very good defender. But two, there's just that thought of he's just a little bit over-aggressive, a little bit dirty. He throws his body into you. He runs in and he'll box you out while you're still up in the air where you got to worry about your feet. Like things that aren't illegal, but they're kind of frowned upon, and he finds a way to do them. And then those guys are almost always, they love it. They feed off the negative energy of others. You know that guy, right? That's who they are. And it's interesting, like in a pack of guys, when you go out, you ever go out with buddies on a weekend, right? There's always the guy who's unlucky in love. There's always the guy who thinks he can pull all the chicks. There's always the guy who's the uncomfortable drunk. And there's always that one guy who either wants to or gets into a fight, right? We all know that guy. Like, what's his deal? Like, it's a birth announcement party, and yet he's getting into it with the dad. Like, what's the deal? It's like, it's Jim. He always wants to fight somebody. Give him a couple pops, and somebody wants to fight him. Right? Like, you can go play cards, and somebody wants to fight him. You can go out to a bar, and somebody bumps in shoulders with him. What? That's Marcus Smart. That's Draymond Green. Right? That's PJ Tucker. Like all these teams, they all have one guy. You're like, I hate that guy. I hate him. But he's on your team. You're like, yeah, I don't really like him, but it's kind of cool that everybody wants to fight him. I love that. I'm glad he's on our team. If he wasn't on our team, I would hate him. He's on our team, so I love him. And then if one of your friends like, oh, I hate Marcus Smart. He's a flopper. He's dirty. Like, dude, you're just soft. Marcus Smart's not soft. He's tough. But if he wasn't on your team, you're like, I hate that guy. He's dirty. He's cheap. Go and look historically at, go 35 years, and you're going to find him on any NBA team. On any championship level one, you're going to find that one guy. You know? Steven Adams was kind of like that in Oklahoma City, but nobody wanted to fight Steven Adams. Like, that would not end well. Steve Adams has like 17 brothers and sisters, and he's not the biggest. Like, I'm guessing Steven Adams, he's just like the strongest human being you've ever seen in your life. Like, yeah, I feel like you could haul off and just punch him, and it'd be like a Bond movie where he goes like, just wipes it off and then smacks you, and you wake up and it's like Wednesday. You're like, wait, what day is it? Every team has to have a Marcus Smart. Every team has to have a Draymond Green. I call it the Jorge Gutierrez. You guys ever heard of that name, Jorge Gutierrez? My brother was an assistant at San Diego State for 8 years. This is when they first started being good with Steve Fisher. They went from like the worst team in California to the best team in California. It's over 8 years. So he leaves and he takes the Cal job. And when you go from the Mountain West to the Pac-12, the idea was like you could recruit a higher caliber of player. So he goes to a place called Findlay Prep. Findlay Prep used to be the biggest prep school in the Western United States. Henderson, Nevada. Tristan Thompson played there as well as others. So actually, I think Tristan was on this team, and it's like his first day on the job at Cal, and he goes and he sees the coaches, and he's like, hey, who should I be recruiting? They're like, see the kid with the ponytail? He's like, the Mexican kid? Yeah, that one. He's like, he's terrible looking. Like, no real cut to his body. Kind of has a funky, kind of shoots with two hands. You know, he's like, I don't know. Why? He's like, wins every game, and somebody wants to fight him on the other team. He's like, really? So he was there for like 2 hours, won every game, and somebody wanted to fight him every game. And then he played at Cal 4 years, same thing. Like, go look, they won. His senior year, he's Pac-12 Player of the Year, and every game he played, somebody wanted to fight him. And he played in the NBA for like 6 different teams. I think he plays now in Mexico. He's like a legend. Jorge Gutierrez. It's just that thing. I don't know what it is. Just, I hate him thing. Now, you got to be able to play, and you got to be able to play within your role. That's always been Marcus Smart's thing, is he shoots way too much for a guy that doesn't shoot that well. But there's such an incredible and immense amount of value in being that guy who everybody on the other team wants to punch in the face. I just want to punch him in the face.